So recently, I got in a little bit of trouble. Well, not really trouble, but some people were calling me out for using AI as artwork for the new single released by Wooz. So I wanted to take some time to explain myself, why I decided to use AI art, why I think AI art is fine to use, what I think the implications are for future of artists and AI art, and explain a little background along the way. So first of all, the band I'm in, Wooz, the whole idea of the band is to write a song a week. And every week we write the song, I take it home, I mix it, put it up, and we all listen to it, give our input, and move on. Do the same thing again next week. And so over the course of time, doing that for the past 6 years or so, as I uploaded them, I started to add artwork. And I was doing something original every week, just finding some kind of artwork. And then the AI thing started to happen. And at first, all the images were really blurry and gross and weird looking, and you could kind of make out what they were supposed to be. And that was a lot of fun, so I would just kind of type in something about the song and see what the AI would come up with. And that would be the artwork for this week's song. It was just something to save some time and have some fun at the same time, because these aren't songs for anyone to hear but us. So each song got its own piece of artwork, and that kept evolving and evolving and evolving. And as I started to play more and more with AI, and the artwork got more and more intricate. So what happened was, with the latest single for Wooz, I needed some artwork quick. Since we started a new YouTube channel, in order to get the YouTube channel verified as an artist channel, you have to upload a song. You have to have at least one release. So I thought, all right, I'll just throw up the first single that we did. You know, it's the first song that you find on the Wooz channel, and that's called The Phone Call. So with The Phone Call, I thought, oh, it'd be fun to have some kind of AI art here just to get it up and out there. I basically took lyrics out of the song and popped them into the AI. And it came up with a few things, and I liked a few of them, and I thought, oh, what if I did these in styles of different artists? And one of the artists I happened to pick was Mark Ryden. All right, that one looks cool. I'm going to get it, use it, put it out there. It went up. A few days go by. The YouTube account gets verified. Great. Everything's going good. Now that it's up, I might as well just throw it out there on the Wooz page so that people can see it. If they want to check it out, awesome. They can check it out. A couple people started calling me out saying, hey, did you get permission from Mark Ryden to do this? And it's like, no, I didn't. You know, I'll definitely say it was Mark Ryden influence. I asked for it to look like Mark Ryden. And if you don't know who Mark Ryden is, I highly suggest you check out his artwork. It's awesome. It's amazing. Some of my favorite album covers have been done by Mark Ryden. Right now, Uncle Anastasia comes to mind by the Screaming Trees. Love that artwork. And really just his overall aesthetic. So the people who were upset about this were implying, like, maybe I'm stealing from Mark Ryden. And I don't really think I am. And here's why. Mainly, it was just there to get started. And I wasn't going to hire Mark Ryden for this. If I ever could even afford to hire Mark Ryden, you know, if we get to a point someday where we're viable enough to afford someone like that, I'm definitely going to hire the guy. But until then, he's not getting hired. And that's kind of my point, is Mark Ryden didn't draw it anyway. It's just something in his style. So he's not losing anything. He's not losing anything from me. I never would have done it. And he's actually gaining something, because I'm saying, yes, this is done by Midjourney in the style of Mark Ryden. So he at least gets some kind of credit. But the way I see AI art, some people say, oh, well, you're stealing from that artist. But I don't know about that. The way I see it is more like a collage, right? If I'm making a collage, I'm cutting out a ton of tiny images and making them into something different and bigger than the whole. And that's pretty much what AI does. It takes all these images and all these different pieces of a puzzle and puts it together in such a way that is unique to itself. It's not like I don't see the gray area here. I do think that artists deserve to be paid for their work and all that stuff. However, I think with the advent of AI, and it's here to stay. And, you know, you can put a couple leashes on it, but it's not going anywhere. Just like the MP3 thing back in the day, there was no way for them to put reins on it. You know, people would just take and take and take and take. And really the only way they ever got the reins on it was to start streaming services, and sell the music next to nothing, right? You're buying subscriptions. And does it cheapen it? Sure. But it's the reality we're in. And I think the sooner that people realize that this is the reality we're in, as far as artwork goes, the sooner you realize, okay, we're going to have to do a different business model and get better. The idea of an AI being better than a human, I just can't see it as far as art goes. Sure, it can emulate and it can kind of get you what you want, and it's getting better and better, and I think eventually it's going to be, near perfect. However, take the Mark Ryden thing, for example. If I had my choice whether to get an AI Mark Ryden or a real original Mark Ryden done custom as whatever he would want to do, I'd go for that every time. And he's always going to beat out the AI. And that's the whole thing, is that the creativity of the human will beat out the AI. And as the artist, you're not losing any money. If someone's not willing to pay you for your original thing, they probably never were going to. It's kind of like the people who download MP3s. They were never going to buy your album. They're just going to download the MP3s or tape it off someone else or whatever it is. There was very little chance that they're going to buy your album. Honestly, those aren't the people you should be focusing on anyway. You should focus on, as an artist, the people who care about your artwork, the people who want it. And if you're focused on the people who want to steal it, you're focusing on the wrong audience. So is what I did wrong? I don't think so. And I'm willing to listen to anybody who has an argument that is solid. I might change my tune. But for now, I don't think there's anything wrong with having AI artwork, especially in the way that I did it, in a kind of off-the-cuff manner, where I wasn't going to pay anybody anyway. 90% of the time when I put out music, I do my own artwork. There are going to be artists and people who use this to its full advantage and full potential and do really well for themselves. And artists have always done this, right? They've always taken inspiration from wherever they can get it, whether it's buy, beg, borrow, steal. The artist will use it and make something out of it that's their own. Now, I can hear some arguments being like, well, this isn't their art. This is somebody else's art that they're co-opting. And somewhat it might be. But isn't that where all art comes from, right? Look, when rock and roll started out, it was the same 12-bar blues for everybody. Everybody played the same 12-bar blues chord progression and sang over it. And if you weren't allowed to do that, rock and roll would have never reached the heights that it reached. And we all know that from rock and roll came all these other things. It came disco and all these other subgenres out there. So this is how things evolve. And AI is just part of the evolution. It's a tool, and that's all it is. Use it. Use it like a tool that it is. Or don't. You don't have to be part of that. You can do your own thing as well. But I don't really think that you should crap on people who do want to use it. Because in the end, I think all art is viable. If someone wanted to make an AI of me, heck, I might even do it myself someday. Make an AI that can write music like me, or draw or do art like I do, or think like I do, and make and create things. And that's fine. If someone wants to use that, feel free to use the artificial thing. I don't care. And if you want the real thing, because you either heard somebody use the artificial thing, or you just heard what I can do, and you want to use me for whatever value you need, then hire me. Like, it's that simple. It's not that hard of a choice. That's just how the market works. So anyway, what do you guys think? Am I way off base? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. I'm willing to learn. And until next time, be sound.